Yeah, once again, I welcome you to Authentic Plus TV. If you haven't subscribed, this is the time for you to do so. We are building a family together and I need your support. So today we are on a different level altogether. I'm here with a beautiful family that are going to introduce themselves. I'm Jibril. We'll start with my extreme right.
Yes, I'm Gennaro Burke from the United States.
Okay,
I'm Aisha Burke from the United States in Georgia.
okay.
And I'm Walker McBroom from the United States.
Yeah, I welcome you to Ghana.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
That's it.
That's good. That's good. That's the feel. That means that you are already learning something.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. So, from the United States of America, what motivated you to come down to Africa, Ghana?
I've heard and done a lot of research about West Africa in particular.
Okay.
I work with quite a few Ghanaians in my industry, and they've always been very nice and very welcoming people. In Atlanta, we have quite a few West African restaurants. So cuisine is a big part of why I travel to different countries. And so me being a fan of the food, the culture, the people, I've been always intrigued about what the country is like and why these people are the way that they are. And so when Walker mentioned to me that he wanted to travel for his birthday and we were trying to figure out where we were going to land, he mentioned to me, hey, how about traveling to Ghana?
Wow.
And so that's why we ended up coming when we did.
Oh, okay.
But it was always on the list.
It was always on the list.
Always on the list.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. So it's your birthday. Which day was it?
April 7th.
April 7th.
Yeah.
So I think I can do something for you, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not good at singing, but I think I'll try. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Walker. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
So
Oh,
that's it. Oh, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So-
that was a beautiful melody.
Thank you.
You got a beautiful voice.
Oh, really? My first time of hearing that. Nobody ever told me.
First time for everything. They say.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, this basically was motivated by your birthday.
It was.
So, it means that this is your first time visiting Ghana?
This is my first time in Ghana. My best friend, Dorothy, is from Ghana. So we work together. And practically all the time she talks about home, talks about Ghana. I had, kind of like Gennaro, it's just always been on my list to come to Africa. And we kind of got together, and more she talked about it, and more she talked about the culture, the people, how it was. I said, I have to go there. So then I decided, I said, you know what? Let me go there for my birthday. And that's kind of how we organized the trip from there.
Wow. What a special place to choose for a birthday. So when you came down here, have you gotten the chance to visit some places?
Shoot, we've been pretty much everywhere. We did a lot of restaurants.
Okay.
We went to the Cape Coast.
Okay.
We went to Baja Beach. We went to several other beaches.
Beauregard, Botanical Gardens.
Was it Bojo Beach?
Bodo, yeah.
Bojo Beach.
Woodbury Gardens?
Ori Gardens. Sand, what's it say? Sand, what's that?
I can't remember.
It's a sandbox.
Maybe.
Yeah. So we went there, and the food has been really good.
Wow.
Our experiences have been really good. Everybody's been very nice, catering to us. We had a very good person who also showed us around, and Christian, our driver. He has did an excellent job and showed us a lot more places to go. Also, Albert, who knows the city very well, very historic, gave us a lot of historical things. So, I mean, it's been a beautiful trip.
Wow, wow. So thanks to you also, Albert, yeah, for doing what you have done. So the food that it is, did you get an American food? Because sometimes,
For the most part, you could say that we have. And most they did the breakfast. We went to B2B today.
okay,
Also today we're going to Pomona, which is really good. The food was fabulous, and pretty much everywhere we've been, the food has just been
I think
outstanding.
it's been a balance between
okay,
Ghanaian local food and American food. Because
Yeah.
Kazo was maybe a little bit more Asian, and then we went to Zen Garden, which is probably more Ghanaian. Amazira, Ghanaian. So I think we've had a balance.
We have.
oh, okay,
And even in doing so, just kind of looking at the menus, you get a chance to get a good balance.
okay.
Because I think they know that the tourism from America is pretty popular. And so they try to have items on the menu to service those who want to be a little bit more adventurous or some of those who may just want to eat something a little bit more familiar.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So what are some of the Ghanaian foods that you ate, if you did?
So for me, it was the jollof rice,
You ate jollof.
which is really good. Had it back home. And I always like to compare to see how it is in my country versus how it is here. Tasted very similar.
The taste is very
Okay.
similar.
Because we're pescatarians, so we eat a lot of fish.
Okay.
So the whole snapper, we had salmon, grouper, whole tilapia, all of that was,
Castle fish.
yes. So all of that was traditionally prepared, which was really tasty. And then we had the banku.
You had bangu.
Banku was really good.
Is it your first time? Yes.
Yes.
This is my first time here.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I know some, Ghanaians are preparing some bangu over there in the United States.
Yes,
But you haven't
absolutely.
had the opportunity.
No.
No.
So how did it go?
It went well.
The one
It was good.
what did
It
you
was.
eat with?
I had it, so I had whole fish with it,
Okay.
okay? And I had the banku, and then there was the sauce,
Okay.
and then we had the plantains.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a good combination. And then one other restaurant, there was like a stew that I had.
Stew.
Yes, with the banku.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So if you have the time to come again, it means you eat bangu again.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely left a good impression on me.
Wow.
Yes.
Charlie, the bangu has had a very good impression on him. Bangu is now international. You said you visited Cape Coast. Is it the castle?
Yes, both.
Both, yeah.
The castle and the
Almina
Almina Castle.
and Cape Coast.
Okay, so you went to both
We
castles.
went to both, yes.
Okay. So when you went there, the history that was told of the slavery, how did you relate as Africans?
It filled in a lot of spaces that you don't learn about maybe when we were in school.
Okay.
You know in general about the slave trade or just selling human beings, but it was just more details.
Okay.
And when you're young, you don't remember all the dates. You don't remember or don't pay attention to how many times that castle might change hands between different European countries. So I think for me, it filled in a lot of gaps that I didn't know
Sure.
that existed. But still, a lot of emotions, but sadness, frustration, a lot of things. But we're still very glad that we went there.
So what was it for you?
I would encourage anyone coming from the States of African descent to visit those two castles. I think it's important that we understand the extent to some degree of what our ancestors dealt with. It made me question my belief system in a higher being. Just for something like this atrocity on this scale to first began and for it to continue for so long. And all of these people that endured, all of our ancestors that endured this brutality for so long and no intervention. So it is making me question a lot of things.
It's very different when you learn things from books and from teachers, and when you can actually see living history.
Okay. So when you visit the site, the relativity is different
Yes.
from what you learned from the books.
Right.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
brings it closer to home. You know it's important. You know it's something atrocious that happened, but it's a different level when you actually
Yes.
see.
So when they took you around, you felt it.
Yeah.
The emotions were so high.
Right.
What was it for you?
The same thing. It was just a high emotional value, and you just kind of felt it. And you know, you learn so much about the history, more than like I used to say, the books would tell you. I can just understand it's truly emotional. It's definitely something that's a must see when you come here. It just takes you through a lot of things. It just makes you feel, just a lot of emotions. That's probably what I can say. I mean, I think everybody is going to have a different experience when they come. You know what I'm saying? So it's just definitely a teachable moment. And I know they said here they're starting to teach it in the schools and
You know, like 2
taking the
years ago.
kids in the school, or I guess when I think about the last 3 years. So I think that's important.
Sure. So what about the hospitality when you went around? The places that you visited,
Top
the
notch.
African
Top notch.
hospitality, top notch.
Yes, top notch.
So hospitality is something really big to me. And the reason I say this is because I have an image consulting business and I teach etiquette. And just kind of seeing how people serve you, how people are very humbling, how people are very polite, mannerable. Just you can read their body language because your body language speaks a lot. And how people are just, even when I was coming here, I was trying to learn some of the language tree and how she was breaking down the words and how she was explaining when she was explaining the meaning of thank you. And she said, demasi. And she was talking about how that means I lay beneath you, I am in front of you, I come and I lay myself, on your doorstep like I'm in gratitude. And so when you think about a word and you think about the deeper meaning of it, it gives you a greater appreciation for it. And just throughout my experiences here, through the service industry, through people interacting with people on the streets, interacting with the people that we're, like my tailor, our driver, everybody is so humble, everybody is so friendly, they address you by your name. I've never, out of all the countries that I visited, have ever experienced this amount of humility and gratitude.
Wow. Wow. That is so humbling. That is so humbling.
It's profound.
So
Yeah.
profound.
It's profound. And when I think about how we back home, because we have challenges in our service industry as African Americans, and a lot of it is rooted in a number of different things that we've endured during the slave trade. And so it's difficult for us to get good service. And so a lot of times when we go to Black establishments, we don't get that good service. Over here, it was just like, it was nonstop. It was just, it's cultural.
Sure.
And it resonates with you. And it's like, wow, this is beautiful. And if there was some kind of way that we could, migrate that culture into our communities back in the States, then it will really elevate us as a community just in that particular area.
Wow. That is, I hope sometime to come, something of that nature, the transfer of culture and the behavior trait will, migrate with it to the communities back in the state. So that, it leverages everything. So I can see all of you in the very beautiful Ghanaian African fabric. How does it feel?
Feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good, it's comfortable.
yeah, it
It's
is.
comfortable.
Really
So,
comfortable.
did you get more of it?
He did.
Yes, so yes, I have a couple of more shirts made, and then I have this set, and then I have a couple of neckties.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and I have a couple of pieces. I have a couple of pieces that I brought with me from the States.
Oh, okay,
Senegalese fabric,
okay,
and I have a cutter over in the States to
okay.
make some of my things.
Okay,
And then we found this. We went to the market and we found this piece
okay.
for her. Well, the fabric, and then the design was one of our tailor's pieces.
Thank you, Albert.
Yes, yes,
That's Albert, huh? He did it.
yes.
Mhm.
Wow.
And then that's another piece by Albert, which is more like a mud cloth. And then you can even see the details in the buttons.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but just really good cutting, really good fit, nicely designed.
Wow. So, what would you tell your colleagues in the diaspora about Africa and, for that matter, Ghana, who are there and have not visited? What would you tell them? What advice are you going to give them?
If you're thinking about traveling to Africa, West Africa in particular, consider traveling to Ghana first. The temperature is consistently warm. We've met a lot of people who've migrated from the States that are purchasing property here, that are building homes here, that have moved here. It has a lot to offer. It gives me the impression of fertile grounds. There is an abundance of fresh foods and fresh produce, and having accessibility to that is something that is really high on my list. And so every corner, every stand while you're driving, you can get fresh juices, fresh coconut water, which is high in electrolytes. You can get smoothies. You can just get a number of just fresh produce and healthy foods here in this country.
Without additives.
Without additives, exactly. So that adds to your longevity of life, and it just kind of it helps you to rethink how you want to move forward in life. The people, like I said, the people are extremely nice and very welcoming. You can do a lot with your money. The list goes on and on. I don't want to take up too much time, but I'll definitely be coming back very soon. I did get the multi-entry on my visa, because the visa is a very long process. So if you do have plans of coming, start your visa process early. It's very extensive. It will take some time. They do ask a lot of questions. They request a lot of information, and you definitely want to make sure that you're working on that ahead of time. But if you plan to come back, make sure you have multiple years left on your visa so you can get multiple entries, because you only want to go through the process once.
It's a walk.
Oh man, I can tell you, if you are into just a rich culture, if you're into foods, and if you are a person like me, I'm a beach person, I really am. The beaches are outstanding. Like I said, we went to, especially yesterday when we went to the Cape Coast, the beaches are pristine. We went to a beach club there right on the island Cocoa Beach, and kind of like last night when we went to a friend of ours at the rehab, and I'm telling you, we must have sat there after we ate maybe 2, maybe 3 hours, because it was just the wind blowing off the ocean. It was just the music. It was the entertainment. So far as the entertainment, the food, the culture, and just the beaches, it's just outstanding. It's kind of like being at home, because this is on the West Coast. It's kind of being like at home on the West Coast. It's kind of like sometimes we go to LA or California, because you can go to the mountains, you can go here, you can go to a lot of different regions.
So,
All in one city.
So
and it's kind of like you want to get more bang for your buck here. So you
sure.
can go up to the Cape Coast. You can stay here in the beaches, and it's just so many places to visit. And it seems like every place we went, we went up to the botanical gardens, and it's just it every different place was a different experience.
Mhm.
So if you're looking at for a lot of different experiences in one trip, really have to come here for like a month. I know my friend Dorothy was like, hey, you need to stay a month. You're not going to be able to do everything in 7 days. We pretty much covered it, but you know what I'm saying, thanks to Christian, our driver. And you just get a mix of different experiences, you know, all in one city, you know, and it was just outstanding.
Wow, wow. Okay.
I would say, just to add to what they said, maybe know when you're coming, you're on vacation. Leave whatever is in the States, in the States. This is your time here. Have exercise patience. I don't say that in a negative way because it's good to reflect. It's good to take advantage of the moment and be in the present, especially when you're here.
Wow, wow, wow. That is awesome. So, but for time, we could go on and on and on. You can really see that they are really happy, being back home because it feels like, still in the United States because they were getting a lot of stuff at one location that they have to move to a different state to get. So, the edge is on. Come down to Africa, come down to Ghana. Let's, reflect, let's enjoy, let's party on. Everything, you get everything all in one location, just as has been, preferred by Mr. Walker, Aisha, and Gennaro. Thank you so much. And we'll come your way with another beautiful interview or discussion. Thank you. It has been your man, Jibril, Authentic Plus TV. Thank you. Subscribe and follow. Bye for now.